Then her so-called best friends arrived. Their faces were pale, their hands trembling, as they took the white flowers from me. Finally, one of them pulled me aside. "Preston, stop this. Rachel's not dead. She's been going crazy looking for you. Haven't you seen the missing person alerts on TV?" I blinked, forcing out a couple of tears. "Don't try to comfort me. I know Ross was the one who posted those. She's gone. I can't live with the hope that she's still alive." She started to say something else, but I gave Alex a look and he quickly led her to a seat. When it seemed like most of the guests had arrived, I stepped up to the podium and tapped the microphone. "Thank you all for coming today to mourn the passing of my beloved wife." My words were cut off by a furious shout from the back of the room. "Preston, have you lost your mind? I told you Rachel's not dead." Ross stood in the doorway, his eyes burning with rage. "What kind of husband are you? She's been missing for 3 months, and you're holding a funeral without even finding a body. I won't allow it." I scanned the entrance behind him. No sign of Rachel. Even now she wouldn't show herself. I looked down at Ross from the podium, my voice cold. "You won't allow it. Who are you to not allow it? Like you said, I'm her husband." Ross's eyes widened, filling with tears. "How can you be so heartless? Rachel loved you with all her heart, and you're just casually declaring her dead. What if she's not dead?" My gaze dropped to the love bite still visible on his neck. A small smile touched my lips. "Even if she's not dead, a cheating wife isn't worth my time." As the words hung in the air, I signaled for security to escort Ross to a seat and continued with the service. I had just opened my mouth to speak again when a disheveled, gaunt figure appeared in the doorway. She stood there, her voice choked with emotion. "Honey, I'm not dead. I'm back for." Rachel ran towards me, throwing her arms around me, her body trembling as she whispered my name. "Preston, you have no idea how much I missed you." That day on the slopes, I felt I had multiple fractures. A kind stranger found me and took me to a hospital. "It took me 3 months to recover, enough to come back to you. I'm not dead, see, I'm fine." She grabbed my hand and ran it over her body, as if to prove her story of a near-death experience. I just watched her performance, my expression cold. When she finally started to look uncomfortable, a laugh escaped my lips. "Are you done with your act? Was the kind stranger who took you to the hospital named Ross by any chance?" Rachel's expression frownsy, cracking like thin ice. She forced a helpless smile. "Preston, what are you talking about? I don't understand." I looked at her feigned innocence, and 3 months of pent-up anger and grief finally erupted. I slapped her across the face. "You managed to hide for 3 months. Why not keep hiding? Weren't you going to wait until I gone mad looking for you?" "I'm not mad yet, so why are you here?" She stared at me stunned. "How did you know?" I smiled. "I know a lot of things." I turned and gestured to the large screen behind the podium. It was meant to display photos of the deceased. Instead, I used it to play my videos. The video of her and Ross drinking arm in arm at the bar. The footage of them entering my house time and time again. And a clip I'd taken myself after leaving Ross's apartment of the two of them walking out together, her arm linked through his. Rachel watched her own face on the screen, the color draining from hers. "How did you find out?" she hissed. "Who told you?" Her gaze swept across the room, landing on everyone who knew the truth. "Was it you? Or you trying to destroy my marriage?" The accused all shook their heads, and she turned back to me, her expression shifting back to desperate pleading. "Honey, I don't know who sent you those, but they have to be fakes. AI generated. I love you so much. How could I ever betray you?" She pulled a small woven good luck charm from her pocket. "See, I even remembered to bring you back a gift." I stared at the charm without a word. My friend Alex, however, found the bar. Video zoomed in on Ross's neck and projected the image onto the screen. He was wearing an identical charm. Rachel's face darkened. I let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "We're at this point, and you're still trying to lie your way out of it." Those videos, I saw some of it with my own eyes. I even filmed some of it myself. "Rachel, are you happy now? Is this what you wanted?" She stared at me, falling back on her old excuse. "Ross and I are just best friends." I nodded, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "Right. The kind of best friend you can sleep with. Low maintenance, no strings attached." The other guests were speechless. A funeral where the deceased shows up alive amidst a cheating scandal was a once-in-a-lifetime event. Rachel's composure finally shattered, replaced by the raw fury of being exposed. "Preston, you knew I wasn't dead, and you still have me legally declared dead. You did this on purpose, didn't you?" "Yes," I said, not bothering to deny it. "I wanted her to pay. If you want to have your identity reinstated, you'll need my cooperation. So Rachel, I'm giving you two choices." I held out a set of divorce papers. "Sign these and you can come back to life. Don't sign, and you can live the rest of your life as a ghost." Rachel's chest heaved with rage. She snatched the papers from my hand, flipped to the asset division section, and then threw them on the floor. "Why should I walk away with nothing?" Rachel's shriek echoed through the funeral home, sharp and unhinged. She kicked the divorce papers across the floor, her eyes blazing with a mix of fury and panic. "Nothing you think. I'm just going to sign away everything we built together, and not some fool Preston." The room fell silent. Relatives stared, mouth agape, while her so-called friends shifted uncomfortably, avoiding eye contact. Even Evelyn, leaning against the wall with a bored smirk, raised an eyebrow at the outburst. I crossed my arms, my expression cold. Everything we built. You mean the life you abandoned? The second it stopped feeling like a game. The home you snapped back into with your best friend. While I frowned on a mountain, calling your name. My voice rose sharp. With 3 months of betrayal, you don't get to take half of what I earned. While you were off, laughing about how you taught me a lesson. Rachel's face crumpled, switching from rage to tears in a heartbeat, a trick she mastered over the years. I was scared, Preston. You were suffocating me. All the rules, the nagging, I just needed space. She stepped closer, reaching for my hand. But I pulled away. Ross understood. He let me breathe, but I never stopped loving you. That's why I came back. Space, I scoffed. You faked your death for space. You let me grieve. You let me spend every penny I had on search teams. You let my parents fly across the country to console me, all while you were here in our bed with him. I nodded toward Ross, who'd been silent since Rachel's entrance, his face ashen. Save the sob story, it's too late. Ross finally found his voice, stepping forward to stand beside Rachel. This isn't right, Preston. Rachel deserves her share. You can't just erase her life and her rights because you're angry. I turned to him, a humorless smile tugging at my lips. Her rights? Let's talk about rights. Did she have the right to lie to everyone who cared about her? Did she have the right to use my love as a punchline in your little bar? Did she have the right to let that little girl at the ski resort, Leela, remember, spend weeks crying because she thought she'd accidentally let Rachel into danger? A murmur rippled through the crowd. I'd forgotten about Leela until that moment, an 11-year-old who had been skiing with her family. The day Rachel vanished, she told me she'd seen Rachel take a trail marked closed, and she blamed herself ever since. I spent hours reassuring her it wasn't her fault, never knowing Rachel had been safe the entire time. Rachel's face paled. I didn't mean for that. You didn't mean for anything. I cut her off. You didn't mean to hurt me. You didn't mean to scare Leela. You didn't mean to make your own ally for you. I nodded at Evelyn, who shrugged. But you did it anyway, because the only person who matters to you is yourself. I bent down, picking up the divorce papers from the floor. I pulled a pen from my pocket and set them on a nearby table. Sign them. You get the car, your little convertible you loved so much. You get the jewelry I bought you, and you get DOLL AR50000 in cash. That's more than you deserve, but it's the best I'm offering. And if I don't, Rachel snapped, her tears drying up as quickly as they'd come. Then you stay dead, I said simply. No bank account, no credit cards, no it. You can't get a job. You can't rent an apartment. You can't even buy a plane ticket. Ross can support you, I guess. But how long do you think that'll last? When the novelty of your freedom wears off? When he realizes you're just as selfish as you've always been? Where will you go? Ross's jaw tightened. I never leave, or really? I raised an eyebrow. Let's ask yourself something, Ross. How long did you wait after Rachel disappeared to make a move? A week, a month? Did you tell her about the other women you were seeing while she was hiding out? Or did you keep that little detail to yourself? Rachel's head snapped toward Ross, her eyes narrowing. What is he talking about?